Hey, all you whippersnappers, welcome to episode 23 of Noob Show.
We got Chris the Tokeman Toker. We got non-bipolar Terry.
Shit.
And we got Maho.
Hey.
How's everybody? Everybody doing well?
Well, I just got solidly berated for 45 minutes before the thing, so.
WHY.
I brought up that I was doing your podcast with you tonight to Jesse and one of our friends, and they're like, "Have you gotten rid of that filter on the show yet?" And then it just turned into a long. Anyway, so yeah, let's keep it light.
I'm keeping that filter.
That's fine.
Let me pull up my notes here.
You can unfilter your show.
Toker.
That's what you do. Yours unfiltered. It's live.
You've been posted into Noob Notes, and I just have a couple questions.
Sure.
Number one is a pillow with Down syndrome.
Yeah, see, I scrolled back. That was from 18, 19 days ago.
Yeah.
I have no idea why I wrote that.
I remember when you wrote it.
I don't even remember why I wrote it. Or it bothers me because I feel like
Are you trying to describe Dan Bongino's looks?
No. I don't know who that is. I don't know. There's a picture of Vin Diesel above that. Does that fit?
He's not quite pillowy yet. He's not at Val Kilmer levels of out of shape, you know.
And then the other one was dwarves are a way for pedophiles to still get into heaven.
That's just a funny statement.
It's revolting.
Yeah. We were talking about little people at work.
Well, they got no reason.
Yeah. Well, they
no
do.
reason to live.
They do. It's because Peter Dinklage is going to be the next Swamp Thing. Or no, he's going to be the next Toxic Avenger. Yeah. He's the next Toxic
Swamp Thing. I'm like,
not Swamp Thing. He's going to be the next Toxic.
That's
tomato, really. Big green nasty
monster.
The
same origin story,
but it's going to be Peter Dinklage. Well, I keep getting them confused. So I know one of the guys that's going to be a part of that the filming of that crew, and I don't know how much I should say because he got excited and told me a bunch. But the writer or the director is like a huge Swamp Thing fan, and he's in charge of this Toxic Avenger, but he wants to like bring that same vibe
Swamp
to
Thing,
it.
The comic, or Swamp Thing, the Wes Craven movie
comic.
from the
The comic. He was very specific that this dude is a big fan of the Swamp Thing comic. So I got excited and it was like, okay, this dude's into some weird shit and he's in charge of some weird shit. And when you're in a kitchen, as long as I've been, you tend to talk about really dark subject matter.
Yeah, tater tots will do that to a man.
I've also I do that with my parents' divorce at the kitchen. Because a lot of time we'll ring in, can we get a medium rare filet split? And then instead of saying heard, I just say kind of like my parents' marriage.
Yeah.
Okay.
One's always going to be getting more than the other. They don't listen to this show.
I would.
Yeah, that's fine.
We do have a new listener for Noob Show. It's my friend Nick. He's apparently like 13 episodes in. So thanks for listening, Nick.
Yeah,
I'm glad we can thank individual listeners. We're that famous.
Yeah. Well, he's the one I'm doing the steak cooking competition with.
A steak, what?
Cooking competition.
Cooking. Okay, I'm like, sorry, I thought you said something totally different.
What did you think I said?
Cootin? Not even a real word. Steak cootin.
That sounds like something I'd say.
Yeah. I've been listening to some old episodes, and you have a way of just really fucking a word up.
Yeah.
I do. I'm proud of it. I'm not
it's where you and Kevin's presentation styles overlap. Just
fuck you.
Kevin enunciates, but he says
funny.
a lot of words. He says a lot of words.
The best thing about editing with Kevin on the audio track is that he doesn't care who else is speaking. He's going to continue speaking. So it
Yeah.
really makes it easier who I have to silence, and it's usually the person that stops halfway through because Kevin never stopped.
My trick is that I silence whoever the people don't respond to afterwards.
Oh,
But it's still normally Kevin because he's so loud. I will say there was a couple episodes ago, y'all were talking about couches or beds. You were talking about beds.
Yeah.
And y'all all, except for Kevin, were talking about that bed that moves around. You know, it's got the lifts and shit in it.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin quietly chimed in, I sleep on my side. I don't want that bed. And y'all all berated him for 5 minutes. And now look, normally Kevin deserves a berating, sure. But in that instance, y'all were talking about beds for like 10 minutes. And honestly, it wasn't very riveting conversation about beds. And we chimed in just saying, I don't like that bed.
This had to be
the shit out of him.
I haven't watched that episode. I haven't listened to that episode. So this had to be a Frakes tangent.
It was
First
Frank,
off,
Matt, and Kevin. Yeah.
No,
you haven't listened to any of the episodes, Terance.
no, I don't.
No.
Yeah, thanks.
He edits them all down, and we just talk shit about you for an hour. It's
That's
been a running
good.
joke until you listen to an episode.
That's fine. It's cool.
Did you guys listen to the last episode, the more ambient one, where it's just two people?
No. Did you
no.
post? It's not live yet, is it?
Yeah, it's live.
No,
What do you mean it's not live?
I don't
What
think it's
number
been
is it?
uploaded live.
No.
It has to be uploaded live.
It's
Hold on.
You sent us a Google link to listen to it, but I can't really get down with that on the road. So,
Yeah,
Son
I
of a
can't.
bitch.
yeah.
Finding live on the
why-
show.
Mm.
I thought I posted. That's why I wasn't worried about that one, because usually I forget and I'm like, I'll just go. I played this. Oh, fuck me.
yeah.
Great.
Look, I skimmed it when you did it on the Google Doc, and I will say your editing chops have improved. I'll stop being so nitpicky about certain things.
Yeah, you cut yourself out entirely, and that was a huge improvement.
Yeah, that episode. Well, this double episode weekend that y'all are gonna get. That one's
God.
I'm seriously thinking about just one night when it's like light raining and the cicadas are going, just putting a microphone out there and getting a couple hours, just an hour of ambient noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
I enjoyed it.
Loop it, start its own YouTube channel, and watch it get a jillion subscribers.
Yeah, for no reason whatsoever.
No, I go to sleep to that shit.
Just why?
Ambient noise in a dark screen. It's fantastic.
No, like rainstorms and shit. Like, you know.
Oh,
Because we can hear the frogs on your fucking audio, Terrence.
Well,
They're
you
so
know,
loud.
those frogs are guests on this podcast, and I won't have you bad mouthing them. You piece of shit.
And Terrence, or not Terrence, fuck, I'm all fucked up. Toker, gay party
Hello.
at work, skeeting liquor.
yeah. So that's an old work story that I was reminded about recently. The place I've worked at, I've been at for like 17 years now. So this was almost 2 decades ago. This is the first year I was there, and it was we were still mainly a club at that point. And we closed in December to host, I believe it was Dudley's Pantheon. It was 2 gay bars, Christmas party at our bar. And the owners, like, the thing I like about the bar that I worked at is that they were very anti, like, this isn't a place people can come in and do blow in the bathroom. We want to have an environment where women can come in here and feel safe enough to like hang out and not have
And do blow in the bathroom.
The women can all day long, but men should not do blow in the bathroom because
Yeah.
that gets them a little rapey.
You know, it's a side tangent real quick. You know, when someone's going to do blow in the bathroom is when you're watching them eat dinner and they get up 5 or 6 times to go to the bathroom, usually with someone else. That's how I found out some girls at the restaurant were going to the bathroom to do blow. But anyway, continue.
You're so young and naive.
They might just have IBS. Okay,
Yeah.
why you got to be so
Yeah.
judgy?
You got to take somebody with you when you have IBS, because if there's no toilet paper, you need to send them to get the toilet paper.
Yeah, texts just don't work in those
Yeah.
bathroom stalls.
It's a
You
long
should
time
look
waiting.
before you leap.
Anyhow, for this party, the owner said, "This is the one night. It's a private party, but when people are doing drugs, we're going to look the other way, because it's two gay bars having a party here. They're going to do drugs and they're spending loads of money. We're just, for this one time, we're good.
I resent the implication that all gay people do a lot of drugs.
You represent that. Yeah. We've heard your nasal volumes for a year now on this show. But it got wild. Everybody's having a lot of fun. I was still relatively new to Charleston. I came from a small town, so just being around that many gay people was a little intimidating, but they were having a great time. And
they always do usually.
The only time I had to be like, y'all should stop, is the kitchen's an open kitchen, and we put the food right up like next to the bar, just with the heat lamps. There were three shirtless dudes squatting in front of where I put the food, and they were all clapping their hands and going ork, 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 like seals. And there was a fourth dude who was just in a Speedo, who was taking shots and then skeeting it into their open mouths.
That's awesome.
And I had to come around the kitchen and be like, look, y'all are having a great time, but there's food here. Go away. I don't want you skeeting vodka into these people's duck tacos.
That is revolting.
So that was that's where that story came from. Gay party at work, skeeting liquor. That's I remember that one all day.
I'm glad I'm a lame gay.
I mean, I wouldn't call
You've
you
had
lame.
your moments.
Yeah, shut up.
We've told some of them on the story or on this podcast.
No, you haven't told them.
Two of them.
No, you've told some stories about me, but no, you haven't.
They both involved you being gay, though.
I keep the really gay stuff to myself.
You're marrying that really gay stuff later this year, I think.
You know. No, I'm not keeping him to myself. You can rent him.
Oh.
No, shit. I got a nickel.
Hourly rates.
Yeah.
Don't worry. He'll never listen to this either.
So speaking of gay stories, at work, when we're kind of slow, which has been recently, we ponder questions like, say a bunch of terrorists raided the building and pointed guns at everybody and looked at you and said, if you don't want everybody to die, you have to pick one of the people in the restaurant and suck their dick. How do you go about, just filtering through that?
Because I started everyone's dick first.
No, you don't get to do that. It's always it's like a blind Monty, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, you don't get to pick the dick?
Yeah,
no, you pick the dick, but you don't get to see the dick beforehand. It's like a weird game of
blind man's dick?
Mm-hmm.
No, what was that old 60s game show? The dating game?
Sure.
But instead of three dudes, it's just three dicks and holes you don't get to see until you ask all the questions.
If your dick was a cottage cheese plate, which fruit would be on?
Ew.
Where's Mahogany?
There you are.
We got to keep your audio from cutting out. So we'll just say something gross as she pipes up. But what this led to was me looking at one of the chefs and going, "Hey Nate, you think your wife would be mad if I sucked your dick to save lives?" And he was like, "Yeah, probably. She'd probably blame me for doing it. It'd be my fault." So that's why he immediately got out. I think I eventually chose the bartender who wouldn't be behind in a 90-degree kitchen running back and forth.
See, now we're on the same page.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, who's been to the bathroom recently? Who looks like they take gross shits and don't wipe?
What does that have to do with their dick?
I'd ask for cut and uncut.
I mean, you don't want to be down near any of that if it's gross,
Well, I looked at one of the other two fat guys in the kitchen, which me and him, and I was like, "Look, man, I'd pick you, but we're both fat, and I know what it's like, so I'm not doing that."
Yeah, like a clean dick is better than a dirty one.
A clean dick is a wet dick. That's just a fact.
I heard it tastes just like avocado.
Gross. Avocado, unseasoned avocado is makes me want to hurl. So
avocado is just a vessel.
What?
Avocado is a vessel. Like you put other things on it. You don't just peel an avocado and eat it.
Well, I mean, I dice it up for salad. Yeah, you're right. I've never just eaten
exactly.
avocado.
Like you've got some dressing on there, or you've seasoned it with salt and pepper or something.
Yeah,
I'll eat a peach by itself.
Squeeze a lemon. I don't know.
I know.
So-
I just want to do the reverse of the clean dick thing.
So you're looking for a dirty dick in that
You want
situation.
the sweaty dick with the poop water splashing around it?
No. I mean,
I mean-
It's not how
how
they
long-
shit, it's how they wipe.
how long are these dicks are you there? Have you been exposed to? Like,
Look, man,
What you do is you just take
have
toilet
you ever
paper
heard
and you
of a
wrap around the
thing
tip of your
called
own
fecal
dick.
plumage?
And that's how you wipe.
It's a thing.
plumage.
When you flush and you get one of those toilets that splashes when you flush,
Yeah.
you never know, man.
That's
That's,
the
all
poor
I'm
man's
saying is
bidet.
you need to be, you just got to be careful if you're going there.
Why do all these shows end up talking about Dookie and
I
some?
don't know. I'm
Yeah,
the one
we
who
were-
brought it up this time, but still gross.
We record on Saturdays too. We recorded this past Saturday and Jeff was in on it and we ended up talking because I installed a bidet this week. We're going to talk about shit Saturday.
How is it?
Yeah, I'm going to do a cartoon about it later this week. So look for the old shit cartoon coming out soon.
Well, because is it like the other
Oh,
cartoons you've been doing?
I've
Because those are fucking
expanded.
awesome.
I've got like a background. There's going to be a Thanos copter. I know I sound like I'm having a stroke, but it's for real happening.
Got a whole cinematic universe going.
Yeah.
I'm excited about
One
that.
of the
Those
first
were
things
fucking
we ever
hilarious.
uploaded was us talking about wiping techniques.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, not even that was before we had a show. That was just me fucking around. And it was because Jeff was on that one too, and he was like, you can upload it, but you have to change the way my voice sounds so nobody knows who I am. And he sounds like porn Darth Vader. Like just real low budget poor Darth Vader. It's just it's the Darth Vader voice, but it's not clear.
It sounds like there's a dick in his
It
mouth.
sounds like there's a dick in his mouth.
Yeah.
I think I just realized that I'm like just very much a germaphobe. That's why I talk about stuff like that, stuff that grosses me out, which is everything.
Mhm.
Well, we had, speaking of other work discussions, we had the discussion of, is it hot for someone to spit in your mouth?
No, ew,
No.
gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally gross. I'd be so gross if someone says, do it. huh?
I mean, you know, if that's your thing,
This
that's
is
your thing,
where-
but that is not smart.
This is where it needs to be a video. It's not just audio because your face was like, I thought out of 3 people, at least one other person here would be like, I could see where that's hot. That didn't
No.
happen. That didn't happen at all.
Sorry. I respond very viscerally to it. I can't. Ugh.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
You ever notice whenever a fly lands on something, he's acting like he's about to eat something real fucking delicious because he's just wiping his hands together?
Yeah.
He's actually puking on you and then eating it back up.
Slurping it back up.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it made me funny because, like, you know, you get a good meal, you're like, ooh, just kind of rub your hands together, like I did for this audio show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
was-
I'm just gonna have a sip of my Sprite.
Not a sponsor.
I'll have a sip of my Sprite and wait for a better joke to come along.
Willie Nelson did take Taco Bell commercials because of tax evasion.
Not a better joke, but a more interesting topic.
You stumbled right on through that sentence. Oh.
Well, Willie Nelson was just avoiding paying taxes, and to help him recoup with those losses, Taco Bell helped him by letting him do original songs for their new steak burritos and tacos.
Yeah.
I think I remember that.
Vaguely.
It's almost like a 1 minute and 30-second song about how a woman met a man and they had a steak taco together.
Mm. It's
Really
one of the
epic.
few songs that's not deep. Like that one has one level, you know?
Not like the delicious 7-layer burritos at Taco Bell.
Not a
Not a
sponsor.
sponsor.
They could be a sponsor.
Oh, I was just gonna say I was a big pothead when I worked at a radio station, and I played. You used to, I don't know if you still can, but you used to could go to normal.com's website or normal.org. One of those is porn. One of those is about marijuana. I think normal.com is just
Yeah,
bland
Org
people
sounds
fucking.
more potty.
Bland people fucking normal.com.
Missionary position.
But
Let
you
me
can
just
go to-
unzip.
You can go to their website and you could download Willie Nelson normal commercials. and he would down, and he would come in and talk about why you should support NORML and why weed being illegal is bad. And I used to play those when I worked at the radio station, but I never gave them money. So
Really?
it's as bad as sharing a post on Facebook, like, hey, so-and-so's bicycle was stolen, please donate. You're like, I'm not gonna donate, but I'll shove this shit down somebody else's throat on Facebook.
You know what that makes you, Toker? It makes you a slacktivism innovator. Like you were doing it first.
I wasn't doing it first, but I did it.
You were doing it.
Did it before it was cool.
Yeah.
Lights out, guerrilla radio.
What?
Yeah. I don't know, man.
That song would play on the same radio station. Look, he's a fan.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's bullshit because there's so many great songs. I don't think anybody cares who makes music. That's like, someone heard my music, but I want my money because they heard it. I'm sick of the copyright laws.
Companies think that, but like actual artists probably.
Mm-hmm. There's one band I like is Red Vox, and he gets asked all the time. It's like, hey, I can't find your music anywhere. How should I get it? He's like, I don't care if you pirate it. Just listen to it. If you get he doesn't care. Like this show, Noob Show, if you want to pirate it to listen to it, I'd be honored. Please do that. You can use any voice clips.
Steal this free show.
Yeah, steal it.
I am not giving permission to use my voice clips. I'm just letting that right now.
You're on Noob Show, and I say they can.
Well, I'm changing the name of the show to Terance Show, and there you go. I win. I have taken over the show. It's my show now.
All right, well, what's the next topic, fuck boy?
Fuck boy. Is it transphobic? I don't know.
I don't like your show.
No.
All right, Mahogany,
I had
it's
to
your
pick
show
the
now.
most obnoxious fucking talking point I could think of.
Y'all don't want to be on my show. You're not ready.
Yeah.
What is your show? Do we have to fight to
It's
the
all
death?
bondage gear.
No.
It's all learning German.
No clues,
No.
Mahogany.
No.
Give us a clue. Is it just us showing up and you saying no the whole time?
No.
Us asking you things and you responding negatively.
No.
I still can't tell if that's what the show is because she just says no. It might be.
No. My show would be A, structured.
I'm out.
B, about serious shit. Exactly. So I said, like, this is not my show. No.
I mean, you could make that show, Mahogany. You can make that dream
I
come
could make
true.
that show.
Yeah, but she's looked around at the talent that's around her and the show that we do now and knows that it's not possible.
I just
Right.
don't know if you guys would actually
on.
have the serious conversations that I would want to
Ooh.
have.
I'm real bad about that.
Exactly.
I bet I could.
I
pretty
bet you
decent at that.
couldn't.
Debate.
Well, I
Fight
try
to
to
the
keep
death.
things lighthearted. I don't mind doing a little bit of research on topics.
What?
I love playing devil's advocate. That's my favorite role.
Yeah, see, that's not the point. The point is to have like serious conversations, not like devil's advocate, not like blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
Not debate
like-
club.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like that's why.
You want that kind of nonsense? You can go to YouTube. Oh wait, this is going to be on YouTube. You can go to another YouTube.
Yeah. But that's why I don't have a show because, I don't feel like being that serious. But I would be remiss if I did something and I wasn't serious. You know what I'm saying? So I have to just not do anything.
Toker, if you were to do a YouTube show,
He's already
I know,
doing
I'm
it.
fucking-
We're
I'm
already-
I've got several shows under my belt over the years. Thank you very much. I did the Wake and Bake show for
But
years. For years.
The hell's the wake? What is
It
that?
was my radio show.
Is that what it was called?
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday mornings from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. You
Jeez.
can
Yeah, he
hang
wasn't-
out with me.
I
he
was
wasn't
asleep.
always Toker.
That's when I was Toker, though.
Uh-huh.
And then we did
I've never known you.
You Never Known Me?
Yeah.
You want to get
Chris.
to know me?
Oh dear God.
Let's.
I mean, I
let's
don't
get
know. What's your dick look like?
If you could describe your dick in terms of like flavor,
Yeah. 7 layers. I haven't showered since 9 o'clock this morning. So
lean and smoky.
it's
like a black
it's like
and
a dry
mild.
miney sausage.
Yeah. Like a Slim Jim.
Oh.
Imagine how like a black and mild flavor kind of is, but instead of wine, replace it with blue cheese.
Oh,
God.
What?
yeah.
I zoned
don't
out for
know.
a few minutes, and I don't know what I came back to.
It was word salad, but somehow turned out to be revolting.
You missed out on our serious conversation. It could have been your show.
Lies.
Could have
About
been your
the
show.
fl-
Yeah.
Yeah.
About
Which-
the flavor of dicks.
Would
We
be,
talked about world peace.
It would be a short story show where you come on as a guest, you read your short story, and we talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be cool.
As much as I would like to do that, you've seen me try to read one sentence.
Well, then
Well,
I
it's-
read your short
It doesn't
story,
go well.
but you write the story. You know what I mean?
Have you seen my character backstories?
Yeah,
No,
well,
not
I didn't
once.
say you had to be on the
It's
show.
not good.
You're not invited.
If you suck, don't come.
It's a voluntary show. Like it's
No,
not a
that would be
homework
a better.
assignment.
That could be a better show. Is force somebody to write a short story and then come onto your show.
I would just
Yeah,
make fun of it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I
Dumbass.
can make that happen.
Loser.
3 days.
Give it
to
like
write
a
something
minimum
original.
word count that they have
And
to
then
meet.
just
and
fucking grammatically rip them apart.
Mhm.
Oh, I have to write
Yeah.
it because there's gonna be no punctuation. Mine's gonna be one long
Yeah,
sentence.
that's where you get shit talked to for real.
You could have a whole season with just
Dumb
one story
son
of
a
mine.
bitch.
I think we might be
I
onto
did not
something
know
though.
that a comma went there.
what?
Like writing a short story in 3 days and then having a podcast where we read it to Mahogany and then she tells us how bad it is. That
Or
should be
good.
like a whole. It could be good, but I know who we are.
If I do this, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up my mic with some kind of voice to text speech, and I'm going to talk out whatever comes out, and I'm not gonna change anything.
You can do that, but
And
you
that's-
just have
that's
to
gonna be my
say
short story.
comma. Like you can do that, and you say comma to put a comma
No.
in. You say period, it'll put a period in.
I
Exclamation
don't know where to
mark.
put those.
It will exclaim for you.
Just tell them that you're sort of inspired by James Joyce, and that's why it doesn't have any good grammar or punctuation.
Yeah, see, I work better as a poet.
So
instead of,
unimpressed by James Joyce.
Everyone is.
What did he do?
Ulysses mainly, and no one who claims to have read that book has. I guarantee.
I do want to ask the question: if y'all had unlimited money to make some type of media, like a movie or a game or something like that, what
Does it
would
have
you
to be
make?
one type of media? Just one thing?
Surprise me, Mahogany. You already got something in mind. Let's
I
hear
mean,
it.
I've said this since I was young with my siblings. I told them that we were going to have like a media empire. We were going to be making shows and movies and just doing stuff. I don't know. Whatever's next. We were going to do it. We were going to be entertainers.
But you don't have like a dream project or anything, like something you think.
Everything.
Oh, okay.
That's what I want to make is everything. I want to be like the person whose name is on everything, but not
Tyler
the person.
Perry.
Not the person. Yeah, like I was gonna say, not the creepy person or the person who's like, fuck yeah, not the creepy weirdo, but like,
Yeah.
yeah.
You want to be more like a Harvey Weinstein.
No.
She wants the full black wife beater kind of control, like Tommy Wiseau or.
Otherwise, there's
I want to
genius.
be like
Neil Green.
like yeah, I want you to watch the show and be like, damn, that was a really good show. And then at the end you see like my production company thing pop up and you're like, oh yeah, that's why I liked it, because I like all the stuff that comes out of there. Like that's who I want to be.
Like whenever I see the From Soft logo, I was like, I'm already about it. I don't care what
Yeah.
it is. I want it.
Who?
I
What?
don't know who that is, but yeah.
The Dark Souls people.
From Software.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking more
Yeah.
like
Toker?
the Hideo
Do cool shit.
Kojima, who puts his name about 15 times at the start of every video game. Yeah, if you ever played anything past Metal Gear Solid, His name shows up so many
37
fucking times.
times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Remember me?
That man needs a studio.
he's
though,
got one now.
because when I mean one that's controlling him. Because when he's out of control, he makes things like Death Stranding.
I bought Death Stranding because I was really intrigued at the
Because
release
you wanted to
of
look
that
at
game.
Norman Reedus.
I
Is
did.
that the
And
Reedus
his
and the fetus game?
Yes, that's what it was.
If Terrace come in, I just hope Norman Reedus works with me. I'd pick Norman Reedus's dick every time.
All dudes have a man crush on him. You put his face on something, they will buy it.
Honestly, I don't
Norman
really
Reedus.
care about Norman Reedus. I've loved Metal Gear Solid. Was the first video game where I went, oh my god, like look at all this crazy shit that the video games can do, because there was so much like hidden Easter eggs in that. So I've played a bunch of those games because I love the depth of them, and I was hoping Death Stranding would be that, but it is boring.
It's like a delivery service on foot mostly.
God,
It's
it
like-
is walking. It is a lot of
Crouch a lot.
walking.
Well, I mean, like one of my favorite games is boring technically, but I mean, No Man's Sky is kind of boring, but I love the hell out of it.
Yeah, I love them. I've been a big supporter of that game since it dropped. But it's with No Man's Sky, you've got universes that you can go through, and there's depth in like discovering things and like buying things and building things. No Man's the Death Stranding. I've played like 4 or 5 hours of it, which I know is probably just scratching the surface, but I was just too bored to keep going.
You kind of dodged the question though.
Oh, what was the question?
What is your dream project, right? Is that what you asked?
Oh,
Yeah.
guys, I'm working on it. I'm working on it right now.
Oh,
You know,
Well, if you had unlimited funds, how would you change it?
Studio?
Like I'm just talking about just money. Like money is no option.
well, if money was no option, I could quit my restaurant job and just make cartoons and other videos and shit. I think that would be great.
Yeah, and acting lessons for Kevin, maybe. I don't know.
I would, however, there's a lot of things that I would like to be a part of without necessarily be. I would like to be the guy that you see die in a bunch of different movies.
Yeah. And that's
I
what
would love to be that guy. Like,
Well, someone had.
hired.
Go ahead.
I was just
Sorry.
saying you're hired.
yeah, hire me.
You
Look.
know?
If you need to kill somebody off in a glorious fashion, let me be that guy. Head explodes in a zombie movie. The ship crashes at sea. The spaceship explodes. Just my body comes floating at the camera for half a second. That would tickle the shit out of me. That would make me real happy. I'm done.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say, someone was making a concept for like a D&D movie, but every scene, one of the people's character gets killed. And it's the same guy, and he comes back dressed. It's just in a different costume, but it's the same
Have you
guy.
not seen the Gamers movies?
How old are these movies?
Maybe
They're from the early 2000s.
were they the ones that were low
They're-
budget
yeah.
and they dressed up as their characters? The one dude was like he wanted to be a chick
Yes.
or something like
Yes,
that.
it's like
Oh, I have
there's
seen
like
those.
4 of them. Yeah, it's kind of like a little bit what you're describing. I don't know.
They're not bad.
Oh, they're pretty good. The D&D movie that they're shooting, like I'm wondering is it? I still not sure if it's going to be a comedy or not, because like they've got like actors that you not sure if you can really take seriously, like Chris Pine,
Michael Cera.
Sarah. Yeah,
Is he
like,
in it for real?
no, I don't know if like Michael Cera is
Oh.
in it or not, but like it's got Michelle Rodriguez, and they showed some costume footage of her, and like her costume looked kind of barbarian-y a little bit. It's like she had it half covered up because it was just paparazzi photos.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What about you though, Terrence? If I gave you unlimited money, what would you make?
Shit. I'd probably just do a ZBS thing. I'd like.
The fuck is that?
It's a.
Why can't you just say normal words?
I'm just going to explain it if you gave me a second.
Dumb it down for me.
It's a audio.
Dumber.
It makes sound plays.
Ooh.
It's an audio production company from like the late 70s or 80s. The Zero Bullshit found or it's like Zero Bullshit Zone, something like that. Yeah, Zero Bullshit production company, and they just do weird audio plays. Like my favorite like space detective one was called Ruby, and it's just all like very strange, trippy, all audio science fiction comedy kind of stuff like that. I find very inspiring and fun.
We could do that.
I know, but like we need to we'd have to script them and stuff, and then like if you listen,
write short story, we turn into audio play. Ready, break.
My name is Richard Neiman. I haven't seen a potato in 37 years. Where's my penis?
What does it taste like? Who knows? The terrorists have invaded.
It's soft avocado toast.
Well, like I say, yeah, like the problem is like I have a hard time like making up stories sometimes, you know, like
yeah, we played your D&D game.
Shit.
Yeah.
No,
Those are good.
Those are good. I'm kidding. Don't stop.
No. But D&D isn't really a story you're making up. You're providing a scenario, and then the story kind of makes itself up with the players and the dice rolls and the things like that. You know, you're basically throwing a stage and some props out there and like some prompts, and that's basically where the story comes from. And but that's not necessarily the same as writing a story.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have a story that like you've been thinking about for many years?
Not really.
Okay. I do.
Okay.
And it's kind of horror themed, and I know like the first 10 minutes of it, but every time I dive into it, it gets there and I don't know, like it's a block,
Yeah.
And I've written down that first 10
it.
minutes like 5 or 6 times, but every time I get to that part, it's like, ooh, I want it to go this way this time. And I'm like, but that's different than what I did
Choose
last
your
time.
own adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Toker, do a choose your own adventure book.
Yeah, okay.
See, I got all the answers.
Then I have to write them all down though, and I'm too lazy to write. Now I'm writing
text
8
to
stories.
speech.
Text to speech. Yeah, Nubit.
I got all the answers.
All right, then Mahogany, why'd my parents break up?
It was your fault.
The funniest thing, I bring up that question more than once, and like every time someone says it's your
The
fault.
funniest thing is my mom tells me that regularly, that I was her inspiration to leave my dad. I'm like, oh, great.
Oh.
She's like, no, you're.
That's a nice way of saying it's your fault for the
she's like, no,
divorce.
because you inspired me. You made me feel strong, and I was like, okay.
Well, to quote a chronic masturbator, no happy people get divorced. No happy couples have ever been divorced. And that's Louis C.K.'s was one of my favorite bits. It's like, he masturbates profusely. We all kind of saw that coming. But divorce is that's when sad people don't want to be sad anymore. So hooray, divorce.
So they blame the other person. And
but it's normally the kid's fault. So why they're not happy as they had kids.
So usually they probably had the kid so that they like to try to fix the problem, but that doesn't fix the problem. You know what I mean?
No. Listen, I want to give a little public service announcement. If you think for a second your marriage is going down the shitter, have a kid together. That's what y'all need to do. Sit down, have a kid together.
Instant fix.
And spend all your savings on it, and it will fix your marriage.
Only if you never stop having them, though. Like, even if it drives you into the poorhouse and to your early grave, never stop having them, and you will never have time to be unhappy with your spouse.
Procreation.
Well, here's the real trick. If you have enough kids, eventually you get to the point where it becomes like an automated facility where the oldest one takes care of the youngest one, and it kind of just cycles that way.
Trauma bomb.
There's trailer parks full of those people right now, and I know because I lived in trailer parks.
Trailer parks are a beautiful community.
They can be.
They should be protected at all costs.
I mean, all it takes is like 9 or 10 bad apples to. Nah, they're terrible. But yeah, I will try to script something though if you guys want to try something like that.
Yeah,
I feel like we put things on your plate, Terance, and then we don't see anything from it, so we just put more things on your plate.
Yeah.
Because
I keep
like an Italian mother.
I keep a dog beside me just in case. Like,
That's me. That's where all noob shows inspiration comes from. Is Terrance's failed projects.
Just throwing scraps. That's it.
I want you to draw me puppets so I can make cartoons.
Oh well, you didn't say that to me.
I did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
You didn't say it specifically to me, so I could ignore it.
He did.
You didn't
I mean,
tag me.
We weren't in person, face to face. I digitally asked you, and on microphone.
Well, email me, and
You never gave me your email. You keep refusing.
I gotta go.
His email is ihavearingaroundmydick@gmail.com.
You gave me an email, but it was for AOL. I knew it was fake.
CompuServe.
What's that?
Oh boy, you are young.
Ah, you're old. You're old. So here's the story. Some dude in China hired an e-girl through an app to play League of Legends with him. He also spent $22,000 on app fees and gifts to her and asked her out multiple times. She said no. He tried to take her to court to get his 22K back, and the case was thrown out immediately.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
So don't believe that. They don't love you. Hoes don't love you guys. It's important to know. Stay real in the streets. It's a G thing.
If your relationship starts with a verbal contract and an exchange of money, maybe it's not going to be a real thing. Maybe.
Tell me the stripper doesn't love me?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, but that depends. Are you made of cocaine?
Next, you're going to tell me there's no sex in the champagne room.
I'm not a big strip club person.
I've never been in a champagne.
Yeah, I've never been in a champagne room.
Y'all never heard that bit by
I've
Chris
heard
Rock?
the song. Yeah, nobody goes to Hooters for wings.
Yeah.
Some people do though.
That's
I worked
weird.
at Hooters.
My friend goes there for wings. She's like, we were in Greenville for one thing. Like we all lived in Charleston, but there was a hurricane coming, so we all went to where our parents lived in Greenville.
Mhm.
And she was like, "Yeah, we're at the Hooters. Come join us for wings." She was like, "Yeah, I love it. Great service, good wings." Like, okay.
Well, she gets good service because she's not staring at their asses
Yeah.
the whole time.
I mean,
No,
she
everybody
probably-
there
yeah.
gets good service.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
Hooters are popular.
Mhm.
I ordered what's it called? I ordered DoorDash from him once.
That's not how you eat Hooters.
I had a gift card. I wanted wings, and that was the only place that was offering wings on DoorDash.
My shame will not let me enter your weird establishments.
You're missing the tatas.
No, the reason you
Well,
go to Hooters
yeah.
is you do go to Hooters for wings. You also go to Hooters for good service, because where most restaurants would have 2 people working those 20 tables, Hooters has 15 girls working those 20 tables. So all they do is like, they just hang around your table. They're always there when you need something. It's creepy, but it
But
works.
efficient.
Yeah.
If you ask them to debone your wings, they have to.
Yeah.
Why would you ask them to do such a thing? Are you
Because
I-
you're sick.
I don't ask them that. I'm not a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
I don't want someone else's hands all over my
Yeah.
wings.
Please tell me this is
if you
this is a joke that I
No.
just.
Not a joke.
No, it's a real thing. If you ask me to debone your wings, I'm just going to give you a plate of
I
bones
will
back.
stab you. That's that shit. That's the one thing I respect about passive aggressiveness is a burn like that.
Is when food's involved.
is a burn like that. But for the most part, like, yeah, I just stab him with a fork. Don't ask me for that dumb shit. What, are your hands not work? If your hands don't work, okay.
If
I'll
your hands don't
find-
work, how
I'll
did you
find
get
it-
to Hooters?
Yeah, I'll find your friend that brought you here and I'll make him get you.
Toker, you've worked in a restaurant for a long time. What's the weirdest request you've had for food?
I worked at a Hooters for several years. That's
That's how he knows all this deep Hooters
Yeah.
lore.
I don't know. There's weirder requests out there. I've never gotten a super. We recently switched to burgers, and I've gotten some weird combinations for burgers. And people just look at everything we have to offer, and they're like, "Oh, I'll get the burger with American cheese and kimchi and wasabi, mayo, and honey feta." And you're like, "Ugh, God, what are
Ew.
you pregnant with a rabid turtle? What the fuck are you eating?"
There's someone trying to scare off a date.
Yeah.
I mean, I try it.
No, I made it. It did not
Why?
look good.
Well, the reason I bring this up is because I've had two times now where someone's asked for a steak that after you grill it to cover it in sugar and brulee it. Yeah, which means you take sugar and a blowtorch and you make a nice crystalline crust on a steak.
I know what brulee means. Thank
That doesn't
you.
sound bad to me though.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
What do y'all mean?
I can't see.
I
Y'all
eat a
American
candied
fucks.
No,
I try a candied
I'm
steak.
saying it's not that it's like, oh, this is what I require every time I have a steak, but I can see how it could taste good. It's not like I'm putting mustard on watermelon or something, you know.
I grew up, we do the steaks. My dad would do all-purpose Greek seasoning and Worcestershire or Dale steak marinade on the steaks. But just before he took them off the grill, he would do maple syrup and flip them so that maple syrup would char on one side. I love a sweet steak. It's good.
Yeah, you're limited, noob. You're limited.
Yeah. That's not
Your
weird.
palate.
You're weird.
That
Your
is
palate
weird.
is immature.
Nobody does that.
People do
This is
do
the
it.
first
You
time.
did
here.
it.
No, we didn't. We told them no.
Oh, well, that's just rude.
Why'd you
Like,
tell
no,
them
we're
no?
not. Because we're also in the middle of a fucking 200-person night. I'm not stopping to brulee a steak.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Do
that's
that at
different.
home.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's different. Yeah.
I mean, you gotta know your, like, if it's something that you offer and you won't do it because you're just being a dick, that's one thing. But it's not a service that you offer on the regular, like, you know, just hey, we like also like $2.50 to brulee it. You know, it's not like a thing at your restaurant.
If I ever own a restaurant and someone asks, like, yeah, can I get this? And I don't see it on the menu, but can I get, this vinegar that you might or might not have? If you want something, you have to point to it on the menu for me.
You have to be
Unless
more
you point to
specific. Be more
That's dumb.
specific.
Like, if you have apple cider vinegar and I ask you for a side of apple cider vinegar and you can't just give me a side of apple cider vinegar, that's kind of bullshit.
That's not what I mean. Let me phrase this.
Okay.
We have a burger cheese mix that's Gouda and cheddar together. Constantly people are like, can I get the burger just cheddar?
No, it's already mixed. Sorry.
No, get something else. If you don't want the cheddar, fuck off. I hate people that just like think they can get whatever they want. Like, can I get this with pickles? It doesn't come with pickles. Well, I want pickles.
They think the menu is a suggestion.
Yeah.
This is Burger King did this to you.
Yeah.
Burger King did this.
That's the
I mean,
old
like I
menu
said, if
that
it's
we
a
had.
reasonable request, if it's a reasonable request, this doesn't require like ridiculous effort, fine.
Yeah.
Like if you'll put grill marks on the chicken, but you can't be bothered to put grill marks on the steak. If I ask for it, like I know that's a ridiculous analogy, but you know what I mean? Like if it's that simple, but you just won't do it because you're being a dick because that's how I made it. Then fuck
Yeah.
it.
I've
How do you
also
put grill marks on something?
Yeah, well, as I
guess you have
said,
to
it's a
have grill.
ridiculous
Yeah, have a grill.
analogy. But
okay.
like, yeah.
In my situation, I'd be like, ma'am, the grill's only for chicken. Please go fuck yourself. We don't put steak on the chicken grill. That's us.
That's heresy.
Yeah.
Heresy.
steak on the chicken grill.
Exactly.
Exterminatus.
That might be the name right there. Steak on the chicken grill.
Steak on the chicken grill. I worked at an Applebee's for 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah, that's how I know
just
you like
long enough to put in your
steaks.
notice.
Just long enough to realize that place was a nightmare. You talk about putting grills. This kid showed me how to put grill marks on a steak, which I already fucking knew how to do, and then he microwaved it.
Yeah.
Applebee's is they microwave everything. It is food magic. They make it appear fresh, but it is not. It is a place where food goes to become an illusion of food. Like it used to be food, and now Applebee's works its weird necromantic magic, and you're like, oh, that's alive. It's not. It's not.
Like,
Are you saying illusion and necromancy pair as well?
I feel like it's a fever dream, but I worked at an Applebee's for like 2 days and as a server, and it was like they wanted us to share a 3-table section with another server, rotate tables. I worked my first day, I had a table because 2 tables came in that got sat in my section. And the second day, I didn't have a table at all. But they still were like, oh, you got to do all the side work. And I was like, no, I don't work here anymore. Just left.
I didn't make any money. I'm not doing any work.
No.
This is why they need to die. Fuck Applebee's.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Well, I mean,
they do. People should do better.
Applebee's, Ruby Tuesdays, Chili's.
Yeah, I
all
mean,
these restaurants
at
need to
least
disappear.
Hooters is upfront about what they are. It's chicken wings, burgers, and titties. Like that's, you know, Applebee's. It sounds like, ooh, like we're going to a fancy, like it's a Frenchy last name.
It's the
Applebee's.
neighborhood.
Yes, neighborhood bar and grill. No, it is microwave mashed potatoes and pre-cooked ribs that came out of a vacuum sealed pack that they like put on a hot plate with water, so it comes out to the table and it's steamed. It's like, you're like, oh, they just cooked that. No, they didn't. That got cooked in a factory 3 states away last year, and it's
Like,
been frozen this whole time.
The shit you buy in the grocery store is the shit that you get at Applebee's.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same.
Like the shittiest level of chain restaurant I want to go to is like Olive Garden and Red Lobster. They're shitty, but they're good.
The biscuits, that's the biscuits and the breadsticks. Like they have people hypnotized with gluten.
Mm-hmm.
Hypnotized.
You should only go to Red Lobster during Unlimited Shrimp Fest. That's the only acceptable time to go to Red Lobster.
that
You should
makes
only
sense.
work there during that time. You just bring in those refills. You can have all the shrimp you want to eat also.
I feel like I'm missing out.
Works.
A Red Lobster. I haven't been to a Red Lobster since before I was 21.
I've never been to a Red Lobster. I've had their biscuits because someone gave me their leftovers that they
It's
brought
not the
home.
same. It's not the same. They're better fresh.
I worked there, transferred from the one in Greenville to the one in North Charleston, and when I first moved to the area, and yeah, it was an experience.
I'm surprised it's still open.
Corporate.
Yeah, that one by the mall has looked closed for 20 years, but it's still open.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's the one we go to.
That's the one where they would chase me around with the dead lobsters. They'd be in like buckets by the end of the line
Weird.
in the kitchen. Like they just have buckets of dead lobsters because they couldn't keep the pH right in the lobster tank. And yeah.
Dead lobster.
Mhm.
Tomorrow's lobster salad.
Dead
And like
lobster.
when I
that's
first
good.
moved to Charleston and I didn't like the Geechee accent, I didn't understand it at all. And the one dude would just come running at me saying something with a lobster because everybody knew I was afraid of the lobster. So that was the thing that like tortured Mahogany with lobsters.
Geechee will throw
Why
you
would you-
off. Geechee throws you off the first time you hear it. Like
Yeah.
I was very confused.
I dated a boy
It's a-
in Greenville that was from Charleston before I moved down here. And I didn't know what he said. I was just like, you're cute though. I don't know what you're saying, but you're cute.
Oh,
So
you're cute.
yeah. So we can hang out.
How many times do you guys ask, what did you say before you're just like, yeah, all right.
Mhm.
Twice.
Yeah, twice.
Mm-hmm.
And then if anything, I was like, yeah, you're right. Or hell yeah is always just responses people like to hear.
What I'm doing right now, just this bobbing nod. That's what I start doing when I don't know what you're saying at all.
Slowly back
Mhm.
away.
Yep.
I have this conversational track is repeated with me at least 3 times a day when I'm at work because a lot of these old people just
Mm.
they can't talk so good anymore. Some days they forget their teeth when they go out, and some of they've got like a little bit of brain damage. So you talk to these people and you're like, please say it again.
You
Yeah.
one of them gay
I'm so-
boys?
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Please say it
If
again.
you're elderly, I will give you as many times as it takes.
Mhm.
If there's, you know what I mean? Like if there's something,
Might be
there's a
life or
reason-
death.
Yeah, if there's a reason, I'll give you as many times as it takes. But if you're just marble mouthed, or I'm just
Like
'cause
me.
sometimes I just can't hear. Like if I'm like when I got low blood sugar or something, I can't hear, I can't see.
Oh, you get your ears
Yeah,
ringing?
like you just might as well not even talk to me. Sorry. But otherwise, twice.
That reminds me of that happened today. I posted in the general thing, but I forgot I went outside to smoke and there was a random old man in the parking lot.
Oh
What's that
yeah.
about? Tell me that.
So walk
again.
outside.
This is a good one.
I'm pulling a cigarette out to smoke, and he just out of nowhere locks eyes with me and goes, what's it gonna take to get you to quit smoking? I hope God hits the front of your cigarette with a lightning bolt. And your last puff is your best puff when you exhale. And I was like, okay. You know, I didn't really know what to say.
Thanks.
And he goes,
Question
you know who didn't inhale? Bill Clinton. And I thought that'd be funny. I'm diving into this now. I don't, instead of backing away, I'm like, let's just move into the crazy. And I go, you know who did inhale? Monica Lewinsky. I know that joke doesn't make sense now, but it's an old man. I just wanted to say something kind of off to him. And he goes, she didn't inhale. It was all over her dress. And I'm not exaggerating how this guy talks. This isn't me making up something. And I was like, he was like, how could he have missed? And I said, maybe that, you know, he's the president. You know, it's all about perspective. Maybe he wanted that on her dress. And he goes, And he put his finger like he was really pondering his response. And he's waiting for his car to get fixed because that's why he's in the back parking lot next to the restaurant. And one of the guys who works on cars walks up and says, sir, I've got some bad news for you about your vehicle. And he turns around and just opens both of his arms. He goes, then lay it on me. And they walk through the parking lot. This guy talked like that all the way through the parking lot. I was really hoping he'd come back. Because he was so
I'm hoping
weird.
he comes back.
Yeah. I like that though. I think I might just start doing that from
Just
now on.
randomly at people.
Just make everything huge and bombastic. Hello there.
Sir,
Wonderful.
your shirt is very yellow.
So y'all want to be drag queens.
But not campy, dignified.
Yeah.
It's like that old video. It was a guy in Australia or Britain or one of those countries. I don't care which one. And he was getting arrested because he got Chinese food and decided not to pay for it.
Oh, that guy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is my crime? Eating a delicious Chinese meal?
That
Get
is
your
my-
hand off my penis. Are you ready to accept my flaccid penis, sir?
Oh no.
You met that man.
You should just play that in its entirety at the end of this episode.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just some dude yelling.
Yeah.
it's a weird style of old man that you don't see a lot of, but when you do, it's like it's
so
rare
good.
treasure. I want to be that old man.
Well, you might
I
see
mean,
more
all
of
it
it
takes
now.
is a dream and a prayer. Just go for it, dude.
Yeah.
Just
There's
lean
where you
in.
go with your unlimited funds.
What was that video called?
Travel the world, being weird at people.
I guarantee you, if you just Google old man flaccid penis Chinese food, just put those keywords in, the video will come up.
All right. So I'm gonna test one of the new things I've been working with to get he has interviews.
Oh dear.
Anyway, but hopefully this audio clip would come in. Would you guys mute your mics and hopefully this audio will come in loud and clear? Let me know if it doesn't and I will edit in post. Wait, I gotta turn the fucking thing up. Hold on. Technical difficulties. I'm a garbage human. Yay.
Just a moment, you just assured me that I could speak.
Sit down inside the car. We're not assuring anything. We're under arrest.
Look, I'm under what? Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis before. Get some cups. Why did you do this to me? Get some cups. For what reason? What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Oh, that's a nice headlock, sir. Oh, yes. I see that you know your judo well. Good one. And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis? Now, get your hands off there. Ta-ta and farewell.
Oh, you should just say ta-ta and farewell, and then that should be the end of the episode, because that's what that dude sounded like in the parking lot.
It was him, I bet. But
It
it was
might have
him
been.
or
Sounds like an Englishman in Australia.
thank you for listening to Noob Show.
Okay, bye.
Yes.
If you Mahogany.
That's enough of your exit.
Later, bitch.
Yeah, thanks for listening. It's great. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Leave comments. Yeah, if you don't like me, then we'll. What was my crime? Eating a succulent Chinese
Chinese
meal?
meal.
Look, if you can legit throw the word succulent in there with that, like with that authority, we should be
I like
friends.
how the guy in the car. Are you waiting to accept my lip penis? Anyway, ta-ta and farewell.
Ta-ta, farewell.